I mean, maybe it's not the best thing. I don't know. Hey guys, it's Casual Friday on Digital Charcuterie. I'm James, and today I got some cool guests with me. We've got Desi and Andrew. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Hi.
Hey. I'm going to get rid of that. The music is loud. I don't know how it was in your...
Oh, I thought you just cut it short because you didn't want to see Andrew's dancing.
That's actually... You called me out on it, but yes.
That's the real reason.
Absolutely correct. Who wants to see Andrew dancing?
This show is supposed to have wall-to-wall music, but every time James has me on, he's like,
pass on the music. Hard pass on the music. Thanks for coming on, guys. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got so much to talk about today. Like, what I love about this show on Friday, guys, is it's casual, like I said. So we just talk about whatever we want to talk about. And if you have a topic you would like us to talk about, email us at digitalcharcuterie@gmail.com. You can see it scrolling by below on the bottom. We get a lot of emails. Today, I was going to put in a few emails, but I'm going to save those for Monday. Monday is going to have a lot of emails. We go manic on Monday with emails. Today, though, there was just some stuff I wanted to talk to you two specifically about. So I took control of this show, and I decided we were going to talk about everything, James. And it's going to include some Looney Tunes stuff, some Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers stuff. And then we'll get the She-Hulk and Avatar and Aladdin 2. Aladdin 2, though, I knew they were doing it, but I forgot about it. Then I read something yesterday, and that's what I want to talk to you about. So, before we get started, Desi, why don't you tell everybody a little tiny bit about yourself and how you don't like Disney?
Hi, I'm Desi. I hate Disney. I don't even know why I put it in my name. I go to the parks like every week, but just because I hate myself and to torture myself, going to Batu all the time. It's terrible.
You spite visit. You're like, take my money, but I hate you. Andrew, how about a little bit about you?
I like to imagine that there's at least one person in the world who also has the last name Disney, but they hate everything to do with Disney, and they're like, God, why couldn't I have been born with a different name? And every time they meet somebody's like, oh, Mickey Mouse, huh? And that person just freaks out. If you're out there and you are that person, I know you're listening. Let's talk. A little bit about me. Well, I'm Andrew, and I was forced to be here at gunpoint. James has a lot of weapons. He thinks he's Batman now. He really took the movie literally. Every time he just texts me, he says, I'm vengeance, come on the show. So I'm here, and I'm here because I know there's Avatar 2 talk coming, and I know James would never talk about Avatar 2 without my permission. So.
At all. You are the only person I know excited for it, but maybe not. We'll get into it in just a little bit. Let's get on to our first topic today. Looney Tunes. I love Looney Tunes. I know it's not Disney, it's Warner Brothers. It's like the evil, like the villain of Disney. They're like except for Roger Rabbit, which is beautiful, my favorite thing ever. I made my wife take a picture of me in front of the billboard at Hollywood Studios, the Roger Rabbit billboard that they have, and I said, we were going to take this picture. She had no idea what was going on. Like none.
There's a hidden Roger Rabbit. So, at some point he like crashes through the window. Oh, yeah. In one of the windows at Hollywood Studios, it looks like he has crashed through the blinds and the glass, and you just see his silhouette.
What? Oh, cool. Yeah, that's amazing. Gotta check that out. COVID end, so I can get there. Let's get right into it. The Wile E. Coyote. John Cena is going to be in this. Have you guys heard of this movie at all? Apparently what it is about is Wile E. Coyote is going to sue Acme products because they keep backfiring on his attempts to kidnap and kill and torture whatever the Roadrunner. And this is going to be like a legal drama about Wile E. Coyote suing Acme. It's going to hit theaters in July 2023. I don't know why, but that's what we're getting. We're going to talk about Rescue Rangers in a little bit. It feels like it's on the same level as that, but one's going straight to streaming. This one's theatrical.
Is this theatrical?
It's apparently it's going to the theater in July. That's the last thing I read. So unless I know you've got the same reaction I do. It sounds incredible, but I'm also like, I'll wait for streaming on this one, and it'll probably be my favorite movie. But it is going theatrical. Andrew, what do you think of this?
The first thing that went through my mind when I heard about this was remember Looney Tunes Back in Action?
I own it.
You okay? There we I don't think I've ever seen it yet, so you are 2 steps ahead of me. But I thought that this was going to be along those lines, like just live action people who are famous at the moment talking to Daffy Duck, and
So
then
Space Jam.
yeah, exactly. And the more I learned about this, and then it turns into this legal drama, and I'm just like, what is this movie going to be? Is Wile E. Coyote going to talk? Or is he actually going to say words? So I am just baffled that this exists. I am more intrigued and excited by it than I ever was for any sequel to Space Jam. And now I'm just like, show me what you've got, WB marketing department, because I want to know how you sell this movie. I feel like how they sell it is the key to whether or not this is going to be something people are still talking about in 10 years. Desi, you're a Disney fan. I don't know if you're a WB fan, but what does this sound like to you?
Well, I also watched Looney Tunes growing up, so I did love it. Space Jam was my jam. I played that soundtrack on repeat.
Yes.
It's a great song.
All I want to know is he going to talk? Because the description says like he creates a friendship with his lawyer, and that's why they want to really like go hard at this. And I'm like, oh, well, I mean, at some point, is he going to testify? Are we going to actually hear him speak? And honestly, I think he's got a good case. I think he's going to win it because he has bought a lot of their products and none of them have worked out.
I hope he wins. I hope that's the ending is him victorious, but he still can't catch the Roadrunner. I love that. I hope he doesn't talk though. He just has the signs. You know, like the old signs that some of these they would hold them up. It'd be like a screw and a ball. It'd be screwball and nut for nut. I hope it's just that. I hope it's just Wile E. Coyote like that. Because but they did cast a few people. Will Forte, I think, is in the cast now. I don't know who he's playing. I don't even think they announced that. So it's kind of crazy to me. First of all, the fact that this is a movie. It's like, and it's not from Saturday Night. Well, it's Will Forte, but it's not from like Saturday Night Live writers. Like I think this might just be from people who grew up loving this. It doesn't sound like it's so focused on kids. Like I haven't seen Space Jam 2, but I heard Space Jam 2 is like so like hyper focused on like obviously the merchandising and all that, but like on kids, like there's no wiggle room for like adults to really enjoy it. But this one seems like if they play their cards right, this could be something that could be like a cult classic for adults.
Yeah. I loved the original Space Jam and had zero interest in watching the second one. Yeah. So I hope they bring it with this.
I had interest in the second one until I saw footage from the second one, and then I lost all my interest. Was way after that. I said no, and then I know people who saw it and they said don't watch. I guess I love the first one. I own the soundtrack for the first Space Jam too. I love that one so much. It was a great album, and the movie. I mean, the movie's the movie, but it was a lot of fun. You had Bill Murray and Wayne Knight and Michael Jordan was in it, and all the other basketball players that showed up. And yeah, Michael Jordan had a small part in it, but there's just, I mean, I know like that movie came off of the Nike ads. I don't know if you remember those Nike ads from the early 90s. That's where it came from. I think it was Michael Jordan's agent said, we should do a movie like this. And it was brilliant and it made sense. The timing, like him leaving basketball for baseball and then having to back, there's something special about Space Jam that it, and I was like 15 when it came out. So I was older when it came out. And I always find it funny when younger like adults are like, I grew up, that movie means so much to me, it's a classic. And I was like, I like Space Jam, but it's a classic. I can't get over, like, it's that and like the original Jumanji are two movies where I was older than I should have been.
I did watch the new Jumanji.
I love the new Jumanji. Andrew has other thoughts on it, but I like. But Jumanji is one where people are like, "It's a classic." I'm like, Jumanji. Like we're talking about Jumanji because when I was growing up, when I was like a teenager, I think when it came out, no one talked about you. I was the only one that saw it. I think of my age, and no one talked about it. So it always amazes me in a good way that people cling to those movies.
If I were to create a new Space Jam movie, I would have had them, accidentally kidnap Michael B. Jordan. Like they wanted to kidnap Michael Jordan to help them with something, but they got the wrong one. And actually, so now they have Killmonger and they don't know what to do with him.
I hear that that Michael B. Jordan is in Space Jam 2.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Maybe I'll watch it now.
Daffy actually makes that exact mistake. He's like, guys, I found Michael Jordan. And then everybody's like, it's not Michael Jordan, dude.
you could have. Sounds like you could have written
I could have
this.
written this.
Yeah.
I've never written a movie in my life, and apparently I can already write just as well as people who wrote Space Jam 2.
You're already above their level, Desi. You're already above it.
Well, there's a lot of stuff going on with Wile E. Coyote. I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's, I don't know, they're iconic characters and it's a lot of fun. Like you said, Desi, like this could just, like he's got screwed over so many times, which created so many fun cartoon moments growing up and laughing at it. That I think they tried to ban him for a while because it was dangerous stuff, but I don't know. I can't wait to see it though. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Let's move on now to She-Hulk. If you say it fast enough. She-Hulk. I think this is going to be a good show, guys. Here's what I think. I think they got a really great crew behind the scenes working on this. I think they have a really strong cast. And I think the idea of She-Hulk breaking the fourth wall, kind of doing something we haven't seen in Marvel before, I think this is something that I think She-Hulk can really open the door to allow, well, at least on TV, maybe not theatrically, but on TV to do something a little bit more and be a little bit more daring. Because I know Moon Knight's going to be TV-14 and it's not for kids, and they're pushing the envelope of how like far they could take, I guess, the gore is it gore? The violence, I think, is more violence what they can do. But I think She-Hulk on the flip side is going to be more fun, more family friendly. They're going to push the envelope of what they can do creatively with this character. I think this show is going to be really funny. I think it's going to be most similar to like an Ally McBeal type show. And there were some leaks of some thermos products where they showed off what She-Hulk is going to look like in full transformation form. I did a video on that here. You can check that out. I mean, she just looks like she's green. Someone said she looked like Gamora. I'm not totally wrong. Curious to see how big she's going to be, but I love that She-Hulk just remains the Hulk. Like she doesn't go back and forth like Banner. Like she's just like, this is it. This is how I'm going to be. And I think that could be a lot of fun in a legal drama. Andrew, you're looking forward to this show. What do you think?
You had me at Ally McBeal, buddy. Yeah, this is my most anticipated Marvel show since they announced it 3 years ago now. Holy crap. And it's never wavered from that. Even though stuff has come out and, Loki has blown people's minds and Kingpin was in Hawkeye, I was still just focused on when are we getting She-Hulk. And these thermoses now, I like that they are showing us that her costume is really like what we remember, the purple and white tracksuit too. This whole thing about her breaking the fourth wall, though, is that like something they legit confirmed? Is this actually happening?
Well, she does it in the comics, but also if you watch, they released that teaser in, I want to say November, and she says, don't make me angry. Then she looks at the camera and says, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. And it's her and Banner looking very 1970s. So I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, she does break the fourth wall in that. And I'm sure that's just, I don't think that was shot for that promo. I think that's part of the show.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to make her break the fourth wall a lot, because I think you already have, I feel like that'd be putting a hat on a hat. Like you already have this really cool character who plays off the Hulk so well, because he's always like, or at least I don't know what they're going to do with him now post Endgame, because he was all like, I'm happy being Hulk now. But the whole idea of he's this melancholy guy who's like, man, I wish I didn't turn into this monster. This really bites. And meanwhile, his cousin's over there loving every minute of being a monster. And she's like going to red carpet parties as this giant green thing, and everybody loves her. And she's like the talk of the town, just like a movie star. And she's like, Bruce, this is the most fun I've ever had in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. So that like almost buddy cop thing that they have going, that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. And the legal drama stuff is fun too, because it gives us these fun cameos, and I'm sure Matt Murdock is going to show up and talk about Foggy, because that's what we do. So here's hoping we see that. But I like the idea of her playing off this power I have now is not a giant responsibility or a giant burden. It's a giant party. And Bruce is constantly trying to reel her in and be like, no, you could hurt somebody. This is dangerous. I want to have fun with that. And if she breaks the fourth wall, I'm cool with that too. But I have a feeling, I mean, we're pretty much this close to getting Daredevil in this universe. So I don't think we need two of those. I don't know.
Well, Daredevil's coming. Season 4 is on its way, though.
Did I say Daredevil? Sorry, I meant Deadpool. I know, yeah, because Deadpool's already got that covered. So I don't know if we need 2 fourth wall breakers.
Yeah, I don't know if Deadpool's. I mean, Deadpool is going to be in it, but I don't know if Deadpool's in the same universe. Desi, what do you think?
This is one of my top 2 animation legal dramas that I'm looking forward to in the next couple years. I also really want Matt Murdock to show up. I got chills when I saw him in Spider-Man. That he like stole the show for me in that one scene. And I think she will probably be kind of like a Captain Carter type build where she's kind of a little muscular and bigger, but definitely still retains that, feminine look, not full on, Hulk, the way that Bruce is. But I thought that Bruce, like at the end of Shang-Chi, went back to being a human.
Yeah, so that's going to be the curious part, because in I don't know if you've seen the teaser or not, he's full Hulk form in that teaser. But also when she says, "You want to like me when I'm angry," he's not in Hulk form. However, in Shang-Chi, he's got his arm in a sling like he does at the end of in Endgame because of the events. But in that clip, he does not have his arm in a sling, and I can't remember. In the shot we saw of them, they're in like that gamma chamber that he mentions in Endgame. I can't remember if he has a sling in Hulk form or if you can even see it because it's a profile shot. But that's a good point. I don't like where. First of all, this takes place before that in the timeline. I don't know, or maybe he heals himself, or maybe we've got maybe they're in the multiverse of madness, and maybe this is all just an illusion. Maybe that's why she could break the fourth wall, Andrew, because this isn't reality. They are in some kind of Wanda reality.
I think Wanda would be very upset if you started referring to weird realities by her first name.
That's not fair. That doesn't seem fair. That's my impression of Wanda. I hope you guys like it.
That sounded super Sokovian.
Spot on.
I can't wait for She-Hulk. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, legal drama, MCU, Daredevil's making, they haven't, I think it's official now, season 4 of Daredevil is happening. However, Charlie Cox kind of alluded to it being a different Daredevil than we got from Netflix. So I guess it's season 4, but it's technically season 1, but I think they're going to retain the same cast of characters, or whatever characters they use are going to be the same. So you're going to get the same Foggy Nelson and whatnot, unless it's Jon Favreau Foggy Nelson. Then the whole thing is just going to go nuts. We don't even know what's going on, but it is happening. Daredevil's coming back into the MCU, or he's coming into the true MCU now, not the fake Netflix MCU. But actually, Desi, I got to ask you, because we're in Canada, so Disney Plus has a thing called Star here where they put like Alien and Die Hard and all the fun stuff is on Star, but it's still part of Disney Plus. Like you just go on Disney Plus and, like when I go on right now, it's like Book of Boba Fett, Aristocats, and then Alien. It's like, what? And then like some weird like murder show, and then Pam and Tommy. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. You could do parental stuff. I don't have any kids, so you could do like a parental thing if you want. I've never done that, so I can't speak to that. But how do you feel about the Netflix shows coming up on Disney Plus? Because it's definitely different for you than us.
Well, I mean, I'm excited because I loved Daredevil. I honestly haven't seen the other ones, so I guess it's good for me because now it'll be on Disney Plus. Now I'll get to watch it. We have most of that kind of stuff on Hulu.
Yeah.
But I guess it makes sense to just keep all of the Marvel stuff together and not section it by if it's adult or kid, just section it off. If it's Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, it goes here. If it's, ABC, Fox, anything else, it goes on Hulu.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. We don't have any Hulu here at all. Like, so every time I see something I'm excited for and they're like, coming to Hulu, I'm like, damn it.
Yeah, because we have like the Disney bundle is you get Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus. But it's like you have to log into each of them separately. which I find super annoying. I would like to just be able to open one Disney Plus app and choose everything from within there instead of having to go to multiple different places to log in.
Which is what we have. Mine is ESPN because we don't have ESPN and we have our own sports stuff here that's like kind of connected to ESPN, but not really, but kind of is. It's all the rights. It sucks. But so I just wanted to know that because we like I said, we have Star. It's called Star, which is, I guess it's the Hulu of Canada, and they just threw it in there because we can't get Hulu because of all the rights, so nothing makes sense. But yeah, I log on and I'm not even making it up. I'll go on right now. It'll have like Cinderella, and then like the bloodiest movie you've ever seen. Like I think like Cabin Fever's on there. It's like, what is happening right now? Like because you watched Oliver and Company, you might like Cujo. What? Like that's like literally that's how Disney Plus here works. It's just no sense at all. But we're all in agreement that if She-Hulk isn't the best thing to come out of the MCU, that the MCU should just dissolve.
Yeah, we just boycott it right now at that point.
All right, let's move on to Aladdin 2. Aladdin 2. I liked the first Aladdin, and going into it, I think the Robin Williams aspect was one of those things that was on the forefront of everybody's mind. And I got to say, I thought Will Smith did a great job when he was being Will Smith Genie. When he was doing the Robin Williams shtick every once in a while, he's not Robin Williams, so he wasn't quite there. But when he was Will Smith Genie, I was all in and I was totally fine with it. I thought the casting was perfect. You know, you had Ezra Bridger from the Ahsoka show as Aladdin.
I didn't realize that was him.
From Markham, Ontario. Also, he was in it. I thought all the cast was great in this. I would have. Well, I don't think it's official yet. But I like the cast. I thought Iago, I was a little disappointed in Iago, and I was also a little bit disappointed in aspects of Jafar. And now the sequel's coming from Guy Ritchie, and apparently this is not going to be a remake of Return of Jafar, which I actually really, really enjoy. I think Return of Jafar is an excellent sequel, and you have George Costanza coming in voicing Abi Small in that one. So I don't know, Aladdin 2, I am looking forward to, and I'm a little skeptical because, you know, sequels are sequels. But Desi, how do you feel about Aladdin 2?
I personally just don't like sequels in general for Disney. I don't know, maybe Toy Story. They did well with Toy Story 2 and 3. 4, terrible. But
I've never seen 4 actually.
It's the worst. Don't bother. It ruins the other 3. It makes the end of 3. It makes me angry to watch the end of 3 knowing what comes in number 4. But so a quote from Walt was, "You can't top pigs with pigs, and you can't top dwarves with dwarves." After he came out with the 3 Little Pigs, he kept getting asked to do, "We want more pigs, we want more pigs." So he did like a 3 Little Pigs too, and it did terribly. Mm-hmm. Nobody liked it. And he's like, well, okay, fine. And then when he came out with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, was the first full-length animated feature. And people are like, oh my God, this is great. We need a Snow White too. And he's like, look, I already tried this once with the 3 Little Pigs. I'm not going to do it again with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. So I think that is why Snow White is like the one movie that they won't touch and do a sequel for. Just because he specifically said he thought it was a perfect movie. It was wrapped up. It ended. There is no need for a sequel. That's kind of how I feel about Aladdin. It ended. Mm-hmm. Everything was tied up in a nice little bow. There is no need for a second one, especially if you're not going to do the Return of Jafar.
Yeah, no, I agree. And he also said something Walt Disney said something along the lines of sequels ruin the magic of the first one. And it was like the minute he died, they're like, well, let's do it. Part two of everything. And those words that he said rang true when I watched Peter Pan 2 in the theater. And I was like,
Peter Pan 2 I saw in the theater and I had such high hopes for because it was one of my favorites. And I was like, this is trash. Why am I here?
And that was the thing. It was like, I love Peter Pan 2. I was like, okay, this Peter Pan 2, whatever. Oh, they're putting it in the theater? This has to be pretty good. And it wasn't. I said, why is this in the theater? And then I realized I spent money and they got that. And
yeah.
That was all it was.
Little Mermaid 2 is awful. Cinderella 2, complete piece of trash. Don't
like you said, Toy Story 2 shocked me because it was at the time, I don't know about now, but at the time I liked it better than the first one when I saw it. I was
My
like,
kids
what?
like Toy Story 2 the best. That's their favorite
It's
one.
it's so much fun. And the Star Wars references are fantastic as well.
Yes.
But it's so much fun. Andrew, you hate live action adaptation of animated stuff. Specifically, you and your disdain for the Jungle Book will live in infamy in my mind. I'm not even joking. But you enjoyed Aladdin. There's a couple things that you had, a few gripes you had, but now you're hearing Aladdin too. But it's not going to be based on Return of the Jafar. So what do you think of this?
Yeah, I literally drove to your old house so I could just rant about the Jungle Book in front of your camera. You did. Yeah. I apologize for the inconvenience. I'm about 6 years too late, but yeah. See, Return of Jafar is the only animated Disney sequel that I grew up watching a lot. Even though even as a kid, I was like, this is not as good, and it looks like the animators were asleep half the time. It was this cool little pilot for the animated series that they ended up doing on the Disney Channel. And they're just like, yeah, let's make this pilot 82 minutes. And there you go. Well, we'll put it in a nice clamshell Disney VHS and Bob's your uncle. So I would watch that a lot. Abysmal was my jam too. I would quote Wayne Knight as Abysmal all the livelong day.
He was great.
He was great. And for me, especially, I was happy because Jafar was and always, and to this day still is, my favorite Disney villain. So back then when I was like, we're getting a Return of Jafar, I'm like, yeah, come on. So that's where most of the love came from. So then along comes whatever it was, 2018, when this Aladdin movie, this new
feels
Aladdin
like forever
movie,
ago.
Yeah, it does. And I mean, the two characters who are arguably the most fun pair, who are Jafar and Iago, are completely watered down in that movie. I mean, I thought Mina Massoud was an awesome Aladdin. I thought Will Smith was an awesome genie. I thought, I feel bad, I'm forgetting her name. The one who played Jasmine was terrific. She was like extraordinary as Jasmine. They were great. But at the expense of losing my favorite Disney villain and his Gilbert Gottfried sidekick, I was like, oh boy, really? So when you told me this, I didn't actually know about this, James, until you sent me the rundown that this sequel is moving forward, but it won't be Return Jafar. It makes perfect sense because it's like, contrary to the animated sequel, who the hell wants to see this Jafar return? Who's like, yes, please. That guy was so much fun. Let's bring him back. So I think at this point, yeah, you do anything but Return of Jafar. You just focus on, there are another 1,000 Arabian Night Tales that Scheherazade told. So let's just focus on some of those instead, because it sounds like we've had our fill of this Jafar already.
So on Facebook, my husband saw a post that was like, if you could have anybody narrate your life, who would it be? And people were saying, Morgan Freeman, James Earl Jones. He wrote Gilbert Gottfried. Yes. So I would love to hear Gilbert Gottfried narrate a movie about my husband's life.
We did this this unit in college where we had to write our own short films because I was in an acting for film and TV thing. And I was writing this scene for my friend, and I told her, I was like, I'm going to write the beginning of the movie. You are watching TV and you're watching Gilbert Gottfried and you're extremely turned on by him. And she's like, okay, deal.
I would watch anything narrated by Gilbert Gottfried because he is hilarious. He's got that. Iago was my favorite part of the cartoon, and I was really disappointed in his portrayal in the movie. I think this is part of the problem with when they try to, not all, I guess they don't really, but I don't know, when you try to do some things in live action, just maybe sometimes just keep the fun of what we loved about the original, the animated stuff. Just keep it. It doesn't have to be grounded in a reality. You can do whatever you want. Make Iago a talking parrot. I don't care.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Broadway version of Aladdin, but Iago is a human and Abu is not in it at all. And instead he has 3 human sidekicks.
Wow. How does that work? Is it good?
I love the musical. I thought it was great.
Okay. I've only seen when Robin Williams passed away, I saw their tribute because they did a tribute to him. That's the only thing I've seen from the Aladdin show. I've never had an opportunity to see it. I did see The Lion King live at Animal Kingdom.
Oh, that's
I
also a
saw that.
really good show.
That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Timon steals the show, Andrew. Timon.
He better. I mean, that's his job. Does the Aladdin Broadway show have the Jafar deleted song "Why Me"? Is that in that show?
I don't remember that song. They do have the deleted song "Proud of Your Boy."
Okay.
That was a deleted song from the animated movie where Aladdin, basically sings to his mom who has passed away that he's going to make her proud.
Yeah, that's a beautiful song too. There was, I think it was on the Platinum, I think it's called the Platinum DVD or something. It was like one of the first times Aladdin came out on DVD. And there's a song that Jafar sings instead of, like, when he gets the lamp and he's in the movie and he sings like a reprise of Prince Ali. Instead of that, there was an alternate song called "Why Me," and it was like an original song that he sang, and it's really, really fun. And it's so hard to find. Like, I keep like looking it up on YouTube every few years to be like, does anybody have this song? And I think it's only on that DVD.
Oh man, I gotta find. I think I got rid of all of my DVDs when I started just streaming everything. I'm like, what do I need all this clutter for? Now you're making me feel bad about it.
I think I still have Aladdin on DVD somewhere. I definitely have the Little Mermaid VHS tape.
I have the Little Mermaid VHS too,
with the inappropriate symbol on it.
Yeah,
you can't get rid of that. You just
you frame that.
Yeah, that's so appropriate. I remember when I was young and they were like, well, not young, like probably early teens or close to teens, and they're like, and that rumor came about. And I was like, I gotta go find it. I went down and my sister got it for her birthday years before, and I looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's right there. And if you don't know what we're talking about, just Google Little Mermaid case and you'll see. Don't make sure your kids aren't around, probably, because it's not like it. I loved all those little Disney things growing up. They're like, if you pause it at this time, you could see this and you could see that. And I've done them all. Like when I was a teenager, I did them all. I was like, what do I got? Roger Rabbit in, Lion King in, just every single one you're doing. And some of them you find, and some of them I couldn't because I couldn't get the pot. Now this would be terrible. Now with technology the way it is, it's impossible. It's impossible to get away with everything. And we're getting off topic. What is our next topic?
This show has never gone off topic before, so now I apologize.
Not even once.
No, we're pretty good at keeping things consistent. Let's go on to my favorite topic, Rescue Rangers. I'm so excited for Rescue Rangers. I didn't know what to make of that trailer. I'm still trying to figure it out because it's like, at first I was like, what is going on here? And then I was like, oh, it's Roger Rabbit kind of. It's crazy. Like the whole thing was crazy to me just watching it. They went super meta, which I'm 50-50 on the meta, but I'm 100% in on the zaniness of this. It seems very crazy. But I was just kind of like looking at stuff for Rescue Rangers because I love it and I wanted to talk about it today. And then I saw that people were really noticing and commenting on Gadget not being in the trailer. There's no Gadget in the trailer. And I think I didn't even notice that because the trailer just like, I'm so dumbfounded. Like, I don't even know. It's almost like I black out when I watch that trailer. I don't know what's in it and what's not. But Gadget's not in it. And now there's a theory going around that she is the villain of this movie. It's a one-off. Well, maybe it's a one-off. It's a Disney Plus thing. For me, though, I got to be honest with you. I hope she's not the villain. I hope they don't Scrappy do her. She's too good to be the villain. It would be fun, but I hope she's not the villain because, she's part of the team. I want her a part of the team. But again, she's not in the trailer, so we don't know where we're going. Desi, how do you feel about this?
I mean, it's called Rescue Rangers. My guess is the reason that they need to team up after maybe being estranged is Gadget has been kidnapped and they need to rescue her.
That's on the nose.
That's just a theory. I don't know. I watch a lot of Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers because I have little boys who I think they don't even care that much about the show itself. They just like saying Chip 'n Dale.
Yeah. Andrew, you in on what? How do you think of Gadget? Do you think they're rescuing her, or do you think she's the evil villain?
Ooh, I hope she's not the villain. I always remembered seeing Gadget as like the leader of the group because she was like the only really competent one there. So to make the leader the villain would be a weird choice on their part, but I am all in for this movie either way. Like that trailer, man, I am so in after seeing that, especially if they give it the same tender loving care that they gave to the new DuckTales cartoon. Because that cartoon felt like you had all the biggest Disney fans in the world who were also hilarious writers writing at like the top of their game for 100 straight episodes without like a weak episode in the bunch. And like the amount of little Easter eggs and like references throwing in things from like Darkwing Duck and the Three Caballeros and gargoyles, like the love was so real on that show. So if they take that and they transfer it to this movie, sold. Like this could be one of the best films of the year if they play their cards right.
One of the best films of the year in all.
Yeah, I'm going there. I'm going there.
I predict Oscars. So many Oscars for this.
Probably nominated for best pick. It could, well, if it's not in the theater, it can. But best song, maybe we could look at best song.
It'll get nominated for 9 of the Oscars that they decide not to show on the broadcast anymore.
It'll win them all too, just out of spite. Well, Rescue Rangers was a lot of fun. I grew up watching it as a kid. I like the video games actually. I play the video games quite a bunch, even still to this day, because I guess 3 or 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, they came up with a Disney Afternoon bundle, and I think it was on all the systems. But I got it on PlayStation, and it had like Darkwing Duck, DuckTales, which is the best video game of all time. DuckTales 2, Chippendale 2, and Tailspin, which is a game. I'll just say that. And I've always loved Chippendale Rescue Rangers. The idea is so much fun. Like you said, Desi, it's about rescuing. That's what they do. It could be a fun adventure. Are you concerned at all that it might be too meta and maybe they're not sticking to the premise enough?
I don't know. I guess we'll just wait and see, but a lot of times when they try to do things like this, where they do the animation real life crossover, it starts to get a little weird. So I am hoping for the best, but I'm preparing for the worst, I guess.
Yeah. Andrew?
I'm just really glad this exists. I don't think we're going to get a villain Gadget. I think we're going to get they're saving Gadget the way they saved Luke Skywalker, because she's a big deal. They're going to build us up to her. But you have such a great, if this movie's even going to have a villain, because it's like you said, it's meta. It's not going the route of let's rescue some folks. It's going the route of these were characters, whatever. I mean, you have this great villain in Fat Cat from that show who was a lot of fun. So I say that they'll translate him there somehow, or they'll find some kind of human real world villain like John Cena in the Acme movie, and they'll just find some way to do that. But Gadget's coming, and she's going to be great.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I can't imagine they would write her out. There's got to be a reason we don't see her.
They just wrote, like, oh, we forgot about Gadget.
What if the movie literally ends like Force Awakens, where she's on an island, and Chip and Dale just come and hand her a wrench, and the movie ends?
she tosses the wrench over her shoulder. That'd be great. I would be great. You know what though? I think Desi, you're onto something, because if you watch the trailer, they go through all those different like areas of like animation, and maybe that's them on their journey to try to find Gadget. Who knows? We're gonna find out though. It comes out in what, 2 months? Sometime in May.
Maybe it turns out that Gadget and Monty got married and then had just like a really messy divorce, and she moved across the country and wants nothing to do with any of them anymore.
Because he has like a cheese addiction, right? In this
Yeah.
movie, he's like, yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe they did that, and now he's he's found comfort food and cheese, and that
She
that
took the
actually seems more
kids and
plausible.
ran.
Yeah. Oh my god, that seems the most plausible of all of them. I can't wait for this. We're gonna have to talk about it when this movie comes out. Direct competition to the Obi-Wan Kenobi show is this one here. We're gonna have.
I thought you were saying Rescue Rangers was direct competition.
It is to Obi-Wan Kenobi. They're going to go head to head, and Rescue Rangers, hear me out, will be better than Obi-Wan Kenobi. It'll get less hate probably than
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
Star
Kenobi.
Wars fans will like
Mhm.
Rescue Rangers more.
Yeah, they definitely will. They'll have. Well, they look like them. Their heads weren't that round.
Well, I love The Last
Can't get over
Jedi, so
Star
we all
Wars.
know
All
I'm
right,
not
let's.
really a Star Wars fan.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's
we're all
true.
fakers here.
Actually, both of you. Yeah, both of you really love The Last. Like it was number 2, I think, on Andrew's list, and number 1 and 2, 3, 1 to 11 on your list. Desi show. So neither one of you have seen a Star Wars movie other than Last Jedi. That's the problem.
That's right.
You need to watch it before they ruined Luke Skywalker and made him a character. I like caricatures. All right, let's move on to our final topic and get Andrew, Fantasia all very excited. Andrew, I'm not going to say anything. Why don't you lead this one?
Avatar 2 is going to be fine. It's going to be just.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, let's be
I have
real.
something. I will.
How much money did they spend on this movie?
Oh, I think they spent. I mean, 2 and 3, I think, was a package deal, right? So it's
4. There's 4 of them. I have this article here. So the Hollywood Reporter sat down with the producer, Steve Asbell is a producer at 20th Century Studios, and he says that it's going to blow people's mind. The date is confirmed. It's going up against Shazam. And then he said, you're not ready for what James Cameron is doing. And there's like 4 of them. This is one of 4 or something like that, I think. Crazy.
Super confident.
Yeah. He the only thing bigger than these movies and Titanic is James Cameron's ego, because I think without them you couldn't have this kind of hype. See, what made me so happy about Avatar, I'm probably the only person in the world who was this happy about Avatar, was that when it came out, what was that, 2009? Yeah, 2009. When it came out in the post Batman Begins world that we were still riding the wave from 4 years back when Batman Begins came out, of like everything's a gritty reboot now. Everything is much more realistic. Everything is much more down to earth and serious.
Yes.
And then along comes this movie that just feels like a cheesy 90s blockbuster in the vein of something like The Lost World or something. Complete with like an over-the-top military villain who could have been the villain in like every 90s Disney or animated. Like he feels like he could have been the Fern Gully villain, right? Like he's so over the top.
Pocahontas villain.
Totally, completely.
Because this entire movie is Pocahontas.
It is, and he's got a
Pocahontas.
suit.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Andrew, keep going. I don't want to ruin your life.
It's just like, yes, here's this story that it could not be less original. But it's delivered to us in such a way that we are not used to, because we've been spending 4 years living in a Batman Begins world where everything was kind of broody. So along came this giant 2-hour and 48-minute splash of blue 3D color with all this 90s appeal to it. And I was just like, I'm having the time of my life, except for the 3D. It's giving me a migraine. Please stop that. So I was so excited when I walked out of that movie, and I was just like, yes, I want more of this. I love this world. I want them to carry on with it. Now, I think we're at the point where nobody cares that these are coming out because it's been so long. But I feel like when they say this movie's going to blow our minds and we're not ready for it and all that jazz, I look like the only thing that makes sense to me is they're saying that because the plot of this one is actually going to be something original and not predictable and not having been done 20 times already. I think that's it. I think they're just saying you won't believe James Cameron actually put a script together that is not derivative of anything else.
So you don't think that this is going to be just a scene for scene of Pocahontas 2, but with blue people?
Well, now I want that. Now I want that, because Pocahontas 2, The New World, blue people is, I think, what we're all put on this earth to see at the end of the day.
That's what I was hoping for. Desi, anything to say to Avatar 2?
Well, the thing that I'm most excited for is just expanding Pandora, the world of Avatar, Animal Kingdom. It is such a beautiful land. I hope that we
I
get
will
more
agree with you.
rides, more restaurants, all of that, and just build out that land even more. Because I didn't even love the first Avatar movie. I thought it was very pretty, very well done visually. Like I said, I thought the story was just Pocahontas with blue people. So if they can make it visually appealing and have a unique original story, then I'm all in, especially if it means new rides, new attractions, new food at the parks. I'm in.
What you have to think is part of their goal, because I'm with you. I did not like Avatar 1. I saw it in the theater, and when it ended, I was with Rob, and when it ended, I said, that sucked. And I was I don't get too disappointed. Andrew, you can like mute me if you want. I don't get too disappointed in movies. Like, there's some that I don't like. This one like offended me. Andrew, I loved the 3D. I said, whoa, and I like 3D. I like stuff like that. I thought the depth, like it added so much to it, but the story was awful and the acting was subpar. There was just like everything, like the technological aspect of it was phenomenal, but everything else sucked. It was like, it almost felt like I should have watched this at Epcot as like a making, like this is what we can do with technology. Like that's what it should have been. And I didn't enjoy, I don't know, I just, everything about the story and everything I didn't care about in the world, I was like, whatever. But to your point, Desi, like at Disney, it was, I love being there. Like I like in Animal Kingdom, I loved being in that part of the park. I thought it was phenomenal. But watching on the big screen just it didn't do anything for me. I'll probably see the sequel because when it ended, I was like, yeah, maybe they could do something better with a sequel now that it's established, even though it took 3.5 hours to establish plants making like
13 plus years to get to a sequel. So
yeah, and like Sigourney Weaver's back, and I think she died in the first. I don't really know, and I don't care. We'll see how the trailers look. We'll see. Oh, sorry, but I actually haven't seen this movie since I saw it in the theater on that dark day.
Yeah, I've only seen it the one time too.
Yeah, I can't. It's too long to bring myself to go back to. And Andrew right now he wants to like punch us both. Like reach through. I don't mean to like offend you. Like I'm fine that you like it. I'm not trying to say you're stupid for liking it. I just like it was just
movie ruined my childhood, and if you like it, then
what amazed me the most about this movie was that people went back to see it again. That was what was blowing my. I'm like, how is this like the biggest movie of all time? I'm like, it is so bad. Like you said, Pocahontas, Dances with Wolves, Fern Gully. There was like so many movies that I had at home that I could have just thrown on and watched instead. I could have put on blue and green 3D glasses from the 80s and I could have made it feel like the same experience. People look. The thing is, it's now it's like chic and cool to hate Avatar. I don't know what it is. People are like, I don't like Avatar. It's the worst. It happens, like you said, Andrew, before, like with every big movie. There's this turning point when everybody decides to hate it. But the reality is, I only saw it the one time in the theater, but people saw it multiple times in the theater because they loved it. They bought it on Blu-ray, DVD, 3D Blu-ray, whatever they bought it on. I can't like. You could pretend you don't like Avatar all you want, but those people, there's something about it that they love, and I can't see them ignoring the sequel when it hits the theater.
Yeah, the money is the one thing I'll never understand. Like, I don't know how you get a movie that is based on nothing. It's not part of any kind of franchise, and it's a story we've all heard before at least 48 times. How does it become the #1 movie in the world for over a decade? It boggles my mind. To me, as much as I champion this franchise or soon to be franchise, I understand it is just an okay movie with a very blah story that just happened to remind me of my 90s childhood, and that's where my love comes from.
You need to come to Florida and do the Flight of Passage ride because it is incredible. It is mind-blowing. You will get that 90s vibe. Without having to watch the terrible storyline.
Do they give you like a braid and you walk around the park braiding people?
You can get a banshee that sits on your shoulder.
Oh, nice. The park is. I didn't do that ride. I did the other ride, which is basically Pirates of the Caribbean. It's a small. Like that's what I love about Disney is 90% of the rides are you're on a boat. and I love water, so I'm kind of all in on that.
It's more technologically advanced than some of those.
It's actually it's wide. There are things on that ride. You're on a boat, yeah, but the surroundings are like I would do that ride again tomorrow. I wouldn't watch this movie you could pay me. I wouldn't watch this movie, but I would do that ride in a heartbeat. So, Desi, to your point, if this franchise gives more experiences like that at Disney, bring it. Let's go for it. Let Andrew, you go watch this 10 times. You watch it for us, and we'll enjoy the park experience.
That's fine with me. When do you guys think we're going to get a trailer for this? I'm thinking maybe August.
I'm thinking after it releases. I don't know. Desi, when do you think?
I have no idea. I thought that they were going to do Obi-Wan on May the 4th, so what do I know?
I love that Obi-Wan trailer. I don't know if you guys did. Probably not, because it wasn't that good. But like they didn't. I don't know. When people complain about these trailers, they're not the ones that need it. I need, like, Desi, you and I need an Avatar 2 trailer. Andrew doesn't need an Avatar 2 trailer. They've got his money. I don't know about you. They don't have my money. Like, they have to convince me that I want to go spend another 3.5 hours watching the blue Pocahontas Ferngully Dances with Wolves experience again. Like, they need to do that for me. But like, the trailers are always funny for me when people are like, I need a trailer. It's like, you just want to watch it. You just want more footage. And that Obi-Wan trailer was...
I'm super excited.
Yeah, I was going to cancel my Disney Plus, and then I said, nope, not anymore.
Mm-hmm. You had your finger over the button.
Yeah.
Like, wait, is that Jewel of the Fates I hear?
Actually, you know what? I did cancel my Disney Plus by accident in October or November. I didn't realize I did. No, actually, no. I did it because my phone service was like, you get it for free with the phone service for 6 months. So I said, okay. So I canceled it. But then I forgot to like subscribe to like do the phone thing. So we went on to like watch the Home Sweet Home Alone, probably the greatest movie of all time. When I actually enjoyed it, whatever. And I went on to watch it, and it was like, you're nuts. I was like, what are you talking about? So I had to do it, but I got it for free for 6. I think I still have it for free. So Home Sweet Home Alone. If you haven't seen it, Desi, give your quick review of Home Sweet Home Alone. I know you've seen it twice.
You can watch my review of it on the Unplanned Downtime channel.
4.5 stars out of 5. Andrew, did you like it?
I didn't see Home Sweet Home Alone yet.
Okay, you're a jerk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put a link to your review in the description, because I didn't plan on talking about it, but we're gonna go all Home Sweet Home Alone for the rest of the show. I did enjoy it though. Andrew, I think you should watch it.
I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it as much as some other people I know did.
That's the thing. It's fine. It's what Andrew calls Avatar 2. It's fine. It's like, it's not. I didn't think it was like, it wasn't bad. I was like, this is enjoyable. I didn't hate my life watching it for like 90 minutes or 80 minutes, whatever it is. I was like, yeah, it's fine. And like, it made no sense and didn't need to exist. But I was like, most things don't. Whatever. Merry Christmas. Goodbye. All right, that'll do it for our show today. I'm going to let you guys get out of here because I know you're done. You're sick of me like most people are at this point. Anyway, I want to thank you both for joining me on Casual Friday. Desi, before we leave, tell everybody maybe where they can find your reviews and more about you if you want to plug anything.
You can find me Thursday and Sunday nights on the WDW News Today YouTube channel, or on Monday or Wednesday nights on the Unplanned Downtime channel. And you can find me at Instagram, Disney.Desi, and without the dot on Twitter.
Showing off Disney World all the time because you hate Disney.
Yeah.
And Andrew, your channel, which I will not be putting in the description down below.
Yeah, you won't find me on my channel because I'll be too busy just at the theater waiting for Avatar 2 to come out.
He's already in line.
I'm already in line. I want a title reveal too. I want to know what this damn thing's going to be called. And then you can
Avatars.
Find me on Avatar, yes. And then Avatar Cubed. You can find me on Andrew Fantasia YouTube channel and on Instagram. That's the one, at Andrew_Fantasia, where I talk about anything and everything, but I'm usually just there, just promoting.
We need to talk about your YouTube channel because your URL, your URL is, you need to work on that, buddy. You're allowed to change it. You're hard to find. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a great weekend. Hope you had enjoyed the show. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. You're not watching anymore. All right, guys. Thanks so much. You take care. And until next time, may you be the master of your own universe.
Pandora.